Kal Halayim La Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rchaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles at GMS that rule well, who I learned this truth from, and salutations and blessings unto you elect out there, brothers and few sisters that take heed in sincerity and in truth. Yeah, man, as you see the title, alright, this is from tnc.news. Right, TDSB, which is the Toronto District School Board trustee, says parental rights don't exist in response to 1 million march for children, dated today, September 23rd. Now, what's going on in Toronto here is you had a bunch of protests from parents. I believe in some other cities in Ontario as well. They're pretty much like protesting about having parental rights for their child, right? Deciding to switch like genders and whatever else, dealing with that, the transmission, all right. But we call it this is the news that came out just today, that basically they don't give a fuck about your rights. And this is what we've been telling you, time and time and again. So it says the Toronto District School Board's Ward 8 trustee Shelley Laskin told a parent supportive of the nationwide 1 million March for Children that parental rights do not exist in Canada and there are only children's rights. Right? Laskin's comments attacking the concept of parental rights came after a concerned parent emailed the trustee expressing the displeasure with the TDSB's vocal opposition to the demonstrations happening across the country. Right? The TDSB had emailed the district's parents with a letter from the TDSB's Director of Education, Colleen Russell Rollins, and her associative directors, preemptively denouncing the protests as inflammatory, transphobic, and hateful. And this is why this man has to fucking go, man. Alright, you Edomites, you gotta go. You gotta get out of power. Alright? This is the end. There's nothing else. This is the fucking end, man. If we were to continue for another 5 to 10 years, right? I don't have to paint a picture, right? It's painting itself, right? But this man has to fucking go, right? It says, right, Laskin says that she learned parental rights do not exist in Canada from a TikTok video reposted to X, formerly Twitter, by an anti-conservative creator depicting a transgender law professor from the University of Alberta explaining the concept of parental rights is American. Right, and this is the video.
There's also another layer in the Canadian context. Hi, I'm Florence Ashley. I'm a law professor at the University of Alberta, and I did my entire doctorate on basically trans youth in family law in Canada. And the piece that's missing from this puzzle is that parental rights are very much an American idea, one that does not really exist in Canada, in part because Canada is a signatory to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, the virtually only quasi-universal convention insofar as all UN members except the United States have signed onto it and ratified it. And in Canada, this has bolstered this idea that parental rights don't really exist as a standalone things. Parents don't have constitutional rights vis-a-vis their children. They have entitlements, authority, power over their children, but that power, that authority, has to be exercised for the benefit of the child. So for instance, we talk about contact with parents, and Parents often speak in vernacular of the right to see their child, but really it's the child that has a right to see their parent. And that right ceases the moment it's not beneficial to them. It is not a right of the parent. It is a right of the child that the parents exercise. And that is how we generally think.
You see this fucking transmission, right? Talking all this mess, this jargon, you know? This is why you gotta go, man. All right, and you're on your way out. You're gonna go. All right, you're gonna fucking go. But pretty much, you know, this demon is breaking down that you don't have the right to think you have, right? As soon as it doesn't benefit, and that's the thing with these devils, man. They call evil good and good evil. They turn things upside down. This thing is talking about, oh, as soon as the child's not being benefited, as if changing its so-called gender, which you're not changing the chromosome, and we're not going to get into all that, but that's not benefiting the child, that it can't change its gender, man. That's why you're on your way out, man. The Most High has had enough. The proud times are done, man. All right.
Think of things in Canada, and so by using the language of children's right, they are adopting wholesale US-based narrative and ideology, one that is not new in Canada either. It was used in the past for a bunch of stuff, including objection to things around abortion and birth control for minors, around sexual orientation and sexual education, and all of that. But it is a distinctively US narrative, and one that does not make much legal sense in Canada. To the extent that there's such a thing as parental rights in Canada, it's purely in a kind of vernacular sense, not in any sort of real substantive legal sense, and certainly not in a constitutional sense. So these arguments are kind of bollocks. What has to be determinative is the best interest of the child. That is how it's always been in Canadian law when it comes to things that impact children to this degree. And there's very clear precedent around it, and also a lot of law that speaks to the significant autonomy that youth have. In fact, more often than not, they are granted more autonomy when they disagree with their parents, because courts have a sense that they are less likely to be having that view really just as kind of an extension of their parents. So oftentimes there are concerns that parents are essentially using their children as mouthpieces, and in fact the rights being claimed by children are actually the parental views and not really necessarily the genuine views of the child. A concern that is...
This is complete madness, man. Like, there's so much shit. I can do a whole lesson on this video, but I'm just having I'm being offended many times over just hearing this madness. But you're taking care of the child, you're providing, you're breaking your back, you're sweating, you're taking, you're doing you're spending your time, man, right? Your labor of love, and they're telling you that, oh, that doesn't mean anything, what you're teaching the child. Oh, that's indoctrination. So what is it when they go to school, when they go to preschool and they go to grade 1 and 2 and learn all your madness, man? What is that? See, this is a backwards bitch ass kingdom, man.
Partly is much less there when the child disagrees with the parent. Of course, it's a lot more complicated, it's a lot more nuanced, but that's kind of the rundown. So when people tell you, what about parental rights? You tell them, there's no such thing. There are children's rights to have their best interests be paramount in any decision concerning them. And the moment that parental involvement and parental decisions diverges from that, parents lose their authority and entitlement. And that is the right.
That shows you never had no fucking authority or entitlement. How are you gonna take something that's entitled to me? How are you gonna remove my authority? Right? That means you're just hanging it in, like a carrot swinging it in front of me, and then you move it away. But this goes to show you, this is the real deal, man. This is why we tell you, Canada is a sneaky, quiet, you know, diabolical machine, man. But it does its dirt on the low, right? Because as many think, you have parental rights. This demon just told you, no, you have a thing called child's rights. You don't have parental rights.
The right thing to do if you want to protect children in any way, shape, or form.
But hey, this is the condition, this is the state that we're in. Right? Now let's go to 2nd Ezra 5 and 7. And the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known. And we're in the night right now, right? We're in the well, we're actually at the end of the day. I'll say that we're about to hit night. Night is all hell, man. Jacob's trouble. The unicorn feed horn, internet being shut off, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the famine of the word, right? No light. The light is shining right now. Get it while you can, man. Right? But that noise, and that sodomitish sea, I don't, you brothers know, you should know, that's America, right? That noise it's making is all these laws it's passing, and all these nations around the world are hearing it and scratching their head. And nations that came here as refugees or immigrants or whatever, they're scratching their head. They're not understanding, right? But they shall all hear the voice thereof, right? There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be off sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, right? And there is much confusion in many places, But anyway, I just saw this article today and saw the video, so I hope you were edified with that. Kal halayim la Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS that rule well, and salutations and blessings unto you elect out there. All right, Shalom.